Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to My Hobby Home. My name is Cathy. If you are new here, welcome. If you're not, thank you for coming back. Today we are going to be working on Fat Quarter Shop's Pressed Flowers Quilt Along. This pattern does come in the monthly Sew Sampler subscription box, but you can also purchase it on their website. Again, this is Pressed Flowers Quilt Along. This is block number 7, the Zinnia. This is the one that came in this month, which is October, the subscription box for this month. I am a little behind on getting it done, but we had a baby shower to tend to and get done, and it's all done and celebrated. So now I can get on to this. So I will keep the pattern over to the side because it is a paid for pattern. It is not mine to give out measurements and things. So I'm going to keep it over here to the side, and you will see I do have, I'm trying to get my little tray here. I do have all of my fabrics already cut out and ready to go. Got my tray over here, and so let's just get with it. You will probably notice I do have the Bernina. This is my new sewing machine. I'm still learning it. I don't know if I had shown it to y'all before yet or not, and I can't tell you really anything about any of this yet. I'm just trying to get the sewing part down. So let's get on into this, and we are going to take a fabric C, which is this fabric, and a fabric D. Now I have already drawn my diagonal lines on the back of C. I have to do that. I do not trust my sewing, and I have to use a ruler to do my lines. I don't trust straightness of anything I do. So I am going to go in and take my little alphabetties off here and get my fabrics done, and we are going to make 4 of these. I believe that's all I have here. So of our D, we're going to take our D, and I've got a thread running right there already, just getting started, and already have a thread. And we are going to take a C. We're going to put this on the top right and the bottom left of D. So we'll have one on the top right and one the bottom left. So let's see if I can do this with this new machine, because I've got, now I will tell y'all, there is a lot of stuff going on here that I'm still trying to learn. I do know to lower my presser foot. I can do that, but the presser foot comes back up. It's not all the way down. So to lower it all the way down, you press that button. I don't know what it's called. It's just a green lit button. To put your needle down, you press that button right there. And yes, it does make a lot of noises, but it's okay. As long as it sews and works, I'm good. So let's go on and get this one done. And it does the reverse stitch for you. You don't even have to do that. And y'all, have been having a good weekend? So far, ours has been pretty good. We got the baby shower done. Got to go see the grandbaby today. So it has been a very good weekend so far. Okay, I'm going to let that cut. think I knocked my fourth one off there. And now what we're going to do is do it on the bottom left. So I don't know if my hand is probably in the way, and I'm going to apologize for that. But I am a all hands in sewer, and they are probably going to be all up in the way on a lot. Let's try this. I do see that I am. And I will show y'all, they do have their line here, so no need for any of the tape on your machine. I'm hoping this does not break my thread because I think I'm right on the edge. Oh, that didn't break. I'm so surprised. My skin has gotten so dry again. I thought we were over that, but it doesn't look like it. My skin is gone real dry again. Which makes it very difficult to hold. I think I just, yeah. I slid, my fabric slid. I don't think I'm going to continue to try to do the chain stitch. I just can't. It's more trouble for me than it's worth. It doesn't save me any time if I'm having to take them off and re-stitch them, realign them and stitch them. So I would rather just get it done right the first time. And it says press open throughout, so I'm going to press. We now have our squares pressed and ready to go. I'm just going to sit them over here out of the way. Our next step is take our B and F and it looks like we're going to kind of do the same thing on these. So I'm taking these off. We're going to start in the top left and bottom right. Okay. Yeah, this is going to be pretty interesting. We are just going to get this going, get our fabric under there, get our needle down, and get to going. And now this is like, with this machine, this is really easy to do. With the little brother that I had, which was a quilting. Now I know you can't see what I'm doing here because my hands are definitely in the way, I'm sure. With the little brother I had, it was a quilting sewing machine combo thing. And I was just having so much trouble. I was literally just wearing it out, really, because I was sewing a lot on it. Because sewing is my therapy now, I guess. I guess if I ever need therapy, that's what it is. Sewing is a lot of times my quiet time where I can have peace. So now we're going to just go to the next, the corner across from it. We are going to do all 4 corners. So what we're doing first is the 2 that are across from each other, and I believe what we'll do is end up trimming that, trimming them up, and then we'll do the other 2. Maybe it would. And if you're new to my channel, I do have the rest of the blocks 1 through 6. You can go look at my playlist, and I believe it's Pressed Flowers. I think I have it under Pressed Flowers, and you can see the other blocks completed also. I've been looking into some additional blocks to get into, but I have so many going on already that I don't know if I should start additional ones. So let me see if I need to. Yes, it does say that I need to go ahead and trim the corners. So let me show you how I trim my corners. I just take, because I don't trust my lines, I just take my ruler, and my ruler has that green line, and from the outside of this green line to the edge is 1/4 of an inch. So I lay the outside of that green line on my stitch line, and that'll give me 1/4 of an inch. We are pressed and back and ready to start on the other 2 corners here. See, turn it where you can see that. We're going to be doing the other 2 corners now. Now, of course, I went on and pressed those seams out. So when I sew across them, I'm sewing over the pressed out seam and everything. So I'm hoping that's correct. If it's not, I'm sure we will notice it in the final product. But I think it will be okay. Got myself lined up there. I think I need it back a little bit further. And then we are just going to get started here. And I am just going to say, you guys, that me being able to have this machine is a blessing in itself, because I am rich by no means, and I've always wanted a really nice sewing machine. You know, a top of the line sewing machine, because I've loved to sew my whole life. I mean, as long as I can remember, I've loved sewing. Okay, we're going to trim and I'll keep talking. But like I said, I've always loved sewing, and I've always just wanted a really, not that the brother that I had was bad, it was a very good, and I have another one that I've used for 16 years that still runs. It's a Disney embroidery brother. I think it's got the PED basic on it, but the embroidery software just is outdated. It still sews fine, but I don't like having a machine that part of it is outdated and I can't use it. But then I also started quilting, so I needed something that could handle quilting, because I did my first grandbaby, the first quilt I ever made, I did on that. Oh, goodness gracious. I sewed all of these wrong. I did not put them to the front side. I put them to the back side. I will be right back. I have it all figured out. I'm completed fixing my mistake, and I have these done and pressed. So I'm going to lay those right there with my other completed square right here. So we'll have our two completed squares right there. The next thing we do is we take A and G. This is A. This is G. And we just make a four patch square, I guess is what it's called. So we will lay these. Right sides together, and we're going to sew at 1/4 of an inch, which there is a mark on this machine for 1/4 inch. And I'm trying to make sure I'm on it. Now I'll just take the other two. Okay, and I'm going to press these open, and then we'll sew them together. Now our next step is we are going to take this unit and this unit and just flip them over. I am going to pin this seam. I'm going to trim up these strings real quick so I can see where my seams come together. I may not even need to pin it. I'm just pinning this for good measure. And we are to sew this on a 1/4 inch seam. That 1/4 inch just looks really tiny to me when it comes out, because this is my 1/4 inch marker But man, that is tiny. But I'm trusting the machine to know it's 1/4 inch. I'm going to pull this pin just a hair. I am not going to run it under that needle, but I am going to run the seam under that needle. And you hear my little girl kitty cat, she's always needing something. Okay, I will press this and bring you right back. We now have this unit completed. And our next step is to assemble the block. I have one more thing that I missed. We have to put this little piece E. I don't know how I missed this, but it doesn't surprise me that I did, because that is, look how tiny that is, y'all. Look how tiny that piece is. It looks like y'all are in the shadows there. One moment. I hope this is better. It may not be, but this is a tiny piece. This goes on this very first block that we did. It goes on the bottom right corner. So I am going to go ahead and I think it's 4 of these that we're doing. And I'm just going to go on and do this quickly to get this on this bottom right corner. Once I get this done, I will bring you guys back after pressing. Now we are assembling the block. We will take our first unit. It's going to be positioned that way. This will be our second unit, or our second piece of the first unit. And then this will be our third block. This is going to go in this direction. So I am going to pull these down, and you are going to still hear a kitty cat. I don't know what she's unhappy about. We are going to sew these two together, and yes, I got the kitty cat out, so that's probably why you notice there's a little difference there. A little pause. Because she was getting very loud and not quite sure what she was wanting. I need to get this up just a hair more. And I think I'm sewing this from the bottom of it. Okay, and the next thing we will do is take this piece and fold it over here, and so did this one. Okay, so that's our first set of blocks. This will be our second set. I'm just going on quickly and laying them up here, how they're going to be together. I'm sorry, it looks like some of my blocks were a little bigger than they should have been. I'm not sure, but it's going to be okay. It's going to be like a flower in nature. Nothing is exactly the same. Now we will take this unit and sew it to this unit. And I realized I did not trim my pieces down, but the first ones I looked at looked like they really didn't need to be trimmed down any, so I don't know. We're just going on to get this done and put it together. Into our last row will be this one. Okay, and now what I am going to do is press these open and see if we can't get them sewn together. We now have each of our rows pressed, and I'm just going to keep on sewing these together. So I am going to pin these seams together right here because they have a thickness to them. Since we pressed everything open, there is a thickness, and there is a lot of nesting going on here. So I am going to pin these just to make sure everything lays the way it should lay, because I'm also catching this seam that's pressed open on the bottom to make sure it does not flip the other direction. So there will be a lot of pins in this, but just to make sure the block comes out, and I'm sorry y'all can't see me. Now see, here's one of our seams that we're coming up to that I've got to make sure that stays down and goes under that foot. And I have the seam, and I need to make sure that goes under the foot right there. Okay, so we have that one done. And now we are going to open this up. I have some little stringies here that I need to clean up on this. That won't be too hard to do. And now we have to put our third block on here. Okay, I am going to press and bring you guys back. And here is our completed block. This is the block number 7 with fat quarter shop. Press flowers, quilt along. I think that turned out pretty good. So if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. Feel free to share it with your friends. Subscribe if you have not yet. And leave a comment. I do respond to each and every comment personally. And as always, until I see you again, have a very blessed day.